Okay, everybody. Sorry about that. Okay, everybody. All right, just double checking that I had my audio. For some reason, I got cut off, so we're starting over. All right, welcome to week 34 of the Bead Stash Challenge. I'm Paula Montgomery from Desert Cat Creations, and I want to welcome you to our show today. Every Sunday, we draw cards for our weekly project. Thursdays, we make our project live, and sometimes in between, you get to see other things. So on Sunday, I also make a bonus project. Today, we are going to make some earrings. Just have a little fun with some stuff that's been sitting on my workplace. So let's go ahead and get started. And I apologize for the disruption the first time around, but yeah, I don't know why it cut me off. So anyways, let's go ahead and flip this over and we will draw cards. I think I tried to put a link up and it didn't like what I was doing. All right. So, Bead Stash Challenge cards. We have 3 different kinds of cards that are in these decks. So, we currently have 5 decks. We have deck 1, which is our base deck. And then we have expansion decks that are designed to be used with them. We have our color deck, we have our non-jewelry and findings deck, we have our sun and sea deck, and we have our desert southwest deck. So not every card has, or not every deck has all the same kinds of cards. So they're actually designed to build off of deck 1. You don't need to have all of them. You can pick and choose what you want. You can use just deck 1. You could use the Sun and Sea deck and the Desert Southwest by themselves, but the number of projects in there is very limited. All right. So the first type of cards in there is make cards. So, you know, if you're staring at your pile of beads and you don't really know where to start, this can help you get started. Hey, Marianica. So let's see what we're going to make this week. We are going to make a link or a connector. So that's from our non-jewelry and findings deck. So basically, we will make a link of some sorts or connector, and we will incorporate it into a project. So I find sometimes that when I draw my rest of the cards, it kind of helps me figure out what project I want to put it in. So our second type of cards is our used cards. These are what we're going to draw from or pull from our stash to use in our project. Now, normally this pile is really big, but as we make something, we set these cards aside so that we get through all the cards before we start repeating ourselves. I recently turned over the make deck, which is why it's so big, but the used deck is kind of small these days. So now I draw 3 cards. You can draw 1, you can draw 5. It's completely up to you. All right, so I have to use a bail in my design, which is funny because we just made a bail last week. We have to use memory wire. Well, okay, we can do that. So maybe we'll be making a bracelet. And we have to use arrows. All right, that's going to be an interesting project. So, all right. The last kind of cards, you know, sometimes I put things back if they really won't work. You know, the memory wire one, like I said, tells me I have to make a bracelet. It's all right. We'll figure it out. All right. And the last type of cards that are in these decks are challenge cards. And these ones are designed to make you think. I know, we don't always want to think, but that's what makes us better and helps boost our design abilities. Okay, so these cards are either a theme that might go with the project, or they're a design aspect that needs to be incorporated, or just something fun like having a friend pick out your beads, right? So all of those are options. So we get to design something inspired by chili peppers. Okay, so a card like that. Hey, Lorraine. That's from our Desert Southwest deck, obviously. You know, so I can take the colors of chili peppers to incorporate into my design. If I have chili pepper, like charms or beads, I can incorporate those. Which, me loving the Southwest, I do have both charms and beads. Surprise, surprise, right? Anyway, so we'll see. But, you know, chili peppers come in red and green, so, and maybe yellow too. We could probably get by with yellow. So, anyways, we'll see what we come up with. So, tune in Thursday. So, I can tell you, though, we are going to be making a bracelet because that's where memory wire works best. And it's been a long time since I drew the memory wire card when I could make a bracelet, because I've had to use it in a lot of other things. But we will be making a link or a connector specifically to go along with our project. All right, so Thursday, noon Pacific, and it's Pacific time because even though I'm in Arizona, we don't go on daylight savings. So we've been on Pacific time all summer. So until November, we will be on Pacific time. Hey, Lorraine. All right, so I thought we've been making a lot of bracelets and necklaces and stuff lately, so I thought I would make some earrings today. So I'm pulling out some components from it's actually from last month's bead box, although I'm adding stuff from my stash, like these ear wires, for example. So I thought these charms were a lot of fun. And I actually have two different designs here that I was considering. Oh, I have a empty bag, which, well, not too surprising, but anyways, so I thought I would make maybe two quick pairs. I'm not gonna make anything fancy. These other ones are nice, these Monstera leaves, which I love Monstera leaves for some reason. I don't know. And then these are lots of fun. These are double-sided, but they're not the same on both sides, so I have to choose whether I want to make them kind of mismatched and go in opposite directions or go in the same direction. Anyways, so I thought with these ones, these little spirals, I thought this greenish turquoise went really well with that. Or was I doing that with the... No, that was definitely with that. And we may throw in a little regular lighter turquoise there. With these, I thought we have these beads. These are Kambaba Jasper, so they're kind of black and green. It's a little hard to see since these ones are matte instead of shiny, but they go great with these green leaves. And don't faint, everybody, but I am going to use bead caps even without having a card force me to use bead caps. Now, you guys that watch me all the time know this is a monumental event because Paula doesn't use bead caps very often. I thought I'd also throw in a little pop of color since these are very dark with these orange glass beads. They may end up in this one too, I don't know. But let's put together what I was thinking on with these Monstera leaves. So I'm going to use some, you know what, somewhere I do have, you know what, I bought some antique brass wire. Oh, wait, there it is. But I have regular brass, which probably works because, you know, it's really not going to show. But hey, you know, if you have antique brass, you might as well use it, right? Because believe it or not, this was not a color of wire that I had. Now, I could probably have used antique copper, wouldn't really be showing too much. Oh, hey, Janelda. Well, I'm glad it was a good show. Hope you guys get home safely. Sorry about the mix-up earlier. My, I don't know, Facebook cut me off. I must have hit the wrong button when I was trying to put the link up. So, anyways, we're going to use our antique brass wire here today. So, I just thought what I would do is something simple for these Monstera ones. We're going to put on our little pop of color, our bead cap, you know, and these are leaf bead caps, so that helps, you know, so. They do kind of blend in a little bit, but since there's not a whole lot of color to it, I thought that would be my center of my earring. And then we'll dangle our Monstera leaf. You know, a few years back, the TRCast came out with a bunch of Monstera leaf. I don't remember what else was in that group, but I loved those. They're kind of interesting. They're kind of rubbery. What does it say about them? Just says leaf charms. Okay. So I know, like, some places are selling these charms that are painted. So I guess this is probably ones. All right. So we did our 90 degrees. We did our loop. Now we're just going to do a simple wrap here. Since this is 22 gauge, it's easily maneuverable. All right. Trim that, tuck that in, and we'll take a look at what we got here before we hook it to the earring. That's kind of fun, huh? I like it. All right, so let me see. Do these. Looks like these open, but I don't want to put a lot of pressure on those openings sometimes, so I'm going to go ahead and we're going to attach it directly to the earring. All right, so let's do our loop. And, you know, we're using a little different kind of ear wires today. So if you have a bead that has a specific, something that's definitely the front or definitely the back, you'll want to make sure it's going the right way, although we can adjust that afterwards, right? So I just slipped that loop through that loop. And now we'll just close that up. Oh. Wrap that up. This may be one of those projects that, like a little messier loop actually kind of adds to your design. I don't know. Now you'll see I had a lot of space in there, and it didn't like all go down evenly, so I'm sort of using my pliers to force the wire to move up and fill in that gap. I think we're good there now. But let's see, well, all right. Don't really want that end in the front, so we may have to adjust that. All right, so it's going to hang this way. So actually, I think I want to, that's all right. We'll twist that. And then we need this guy hanging vertically, right? So all right, so here we got one earring. So yesterday, guys, I dropped some of my cactus statues and some quail up at the second store here in Oro Valley. You know, I'd been selling some stuff up at Free Bird Shop in Oro Valley, or in Catalina. They've recently opened a shop in Oro Valley, and I was pleased that they asked me to put some things in the store. So as of yesterday, we are in both stores. So if you're local, you can find my assembled stuff there. Not everything, but you know, lots of Arizona stuff. So cactus and quail. There will eventually be more. That's what I had ready yesterday, so I took it up. So this bead has a lot more pattern to it than the other one. Yeah, and it was so sweet the other this week. I actually got a message through Facebook from somebody who received one of my cactus as a gift, and they sent me a picture of it. I thought that was really sweet. I'm glad other people like these things that I make, because I have fun designing them. I don't get to put jewelry up at that store because they have several jewelry people already, so a little sad about that, but who knows, maybe in the future. I might put some bracelets up there because mostly it's earrings and necklaces, but that other people are making. But I am going to teach another class. I am going to teach spiders for September. All right, there we go. What do you think? You guys like this? I think those are very jungle-y, right? But fun. All right, now let's go a little different direction. These ones will be more I don't know, modern hipster. Question is, what do you guys think? Should I'm just going to do something very similar. You would wear the... I was thinking of, you know, putting something together with these beads. I could... Let me see what the... There were some spacer beads in this. Whoops, the wrong bag. Looking in the wrong place. There we go. Could use spacer beads here instead of maybe use those. I still think you guys should all mark it down as you know, amazing that Paula used bead caps with nobody forcing me to. I know you all say, well, they're not really forcing you, but the cards sometimes force me to do things, right? So, all right, I'm just gonna put some things on this wire and see what, so we can do we could do something like that. Or we can do a third turquoise bead, spacers, and then the other option would be to also add some of this bluer turquoise. That works too, huh? What if that blue is too blue? These are definitely a green patina. But I do like that. I don't know. It's not gonna be right next to it. So. I want to use more of the green. What do you guys think? All right, so should I use 3 metal or 3 turquoise? I'll let you vote on that. So you can just put metal or turquoise if you like. So the 3 metal was the metal, turquoise, metal, turquoise, metal. And the other one was metal, turquoise, 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 and then metal. Put this small blue stuff away. I could add orange too. I thought about that, but then I don't need 2 pairs with all that orange, huh? So, anybody have an opinion on the turquoise? More turquoise or more metal? Guess you're gonna make me decide, huh? You can't spell turquoise. So this one, I think you can't go wrong with turquoise. I think you're right. All right, let's. Put that on there. Put our little dangle on there. And then we're just gonna wrap. There should be a song to learn how to spell turquoise. Yeah. I don't, not aware of one, but. Let's see what. I think that's cute. All right, and we're gonna put a loop up here, and again we're gonna attach that directly to this earring finding. Yeah, I'm not worried about what direction my loops go at the moment, because you know we can always adjust those once we get them on there. I'll tell you, when I first started making jewelry, I was not. I don't know why. I would take things off and twist them around instead of trying to twist my loops. I don't know why I made things harder on myself, but I was new. I didn't really think about the fact that I could just twist my wires. Hey, what are you doing? My wires are trying to misbehave here, guys. Sometimes I would just force the end of that in. I'm cutting it off. And always remember, when you're cutting small pieces of wire, to either wear safety glasses or cover it so that it can't fly up and fly into your eye, because that would be bad. All right. So, oh, this one, so that ended up with the striped side going forward. So now I have to decide. There's stuff on my ear wire here. Packaging. So I actually kind of like the other side, but I'm going to leave it for the moment because we may want them going in opposite directions, right? So, all right. So let's make the other guy. make our other loop. Attach it to my ear wire. I'm going to hold on to this while I wrap. In. Don't want it to catch on our hair. All right, let's see. So this is the front. What gauge is it? It's a 22 gauge wire. It's the Artistic Wire brand, and it does come in antique brass. For comparison, it's hard to tell even in this light, but the brass isn't that much darker, so you could get by with regular brass wire. But anyways, all right, it's decision time, guys. So do we like them going in opposite directions? So I would tell you if they were both front and back identical, my preference would always be to hang them going in opposite directions like this. But since they don't match, the question is, will anybody care? I don't know. What do you guys think? Should they be mismatched like that? So that they're, either going towards your head or away from your head as they're hanging on your two ears. Your head's going to be in between, so I don't know if most people would notice. Or do we flip this one around and make it go that way? What do you think? Match or not? You can just put no if you don't want them to match. Just gotta straighten up my desktop well. Don't need those. These. Might need these, depending on what you guys say. No, the good news is you can always change it later, so. Either way. Yeah, it's kind of like, let me zoom in a little more so you guys can see these. Can't always tell where my camera is here. Let's see. There we go. All right. I think with my head in between, nobody's going to notice, right? But anyway, there's two fun pairs of earrings. Most of all of those beads and components other than the wire were from Bargain Bead Box, so, or their website. So I think we'll leave them there. Maybe I will model them for you real quick. All right, let's take off my earrings. And if you're not familiar how to use lever backs, the nice thing is you don't need the little rubber thing. You just bend that back, put this through your ear. Your hair length go. Yeah, mine does too, except I wear my hair up because it's too hot around here. All right. Let's go ahead and flip this over. We got those earrings on. I think those are fun. And like I said, I'm not sure anybody, because most people are going to be far enough back, they're only going to see the shape. They're not necessarily going to see that the design isn't the same. But let's go ahead and model the other ones too. Like I used to see a lot of earrings sold with these lever backs, but then for the longest time everything went to French wires. Nice thing about French wires is if you have wire, you can make yourself a pair of earrings if you don't have any earring finding. All right, there's our leaves. All right, fun. And you know, great color of green for me, right? So, gotta love that, right? All right, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Like I said, we hadn't made earrings in a while. I felt like we'd been making a lot of bracelets and necklaces lately, so that's what we made. But we'll be making a bracelet again this week because we're using memory wire. We're going to make our own link. We're going to use a bail. We're going to use memory wire, arrows, and it's all going to be inspired by chili peppers, so we'll see how that works out. Okay. I'll have to spend some time thinking about that this week. So anyways, hope you all have a great week. Thanks as always for watching. And if you haven't already, please like and follow Desert Cat Creations on Facebook and Instagram, and subscribe to our channel on YouTube. All of those are free ways of helping a small business. It gets me more visibility so that we can have more people play along with us. Love to see what you guys are working on. If you have a project, if you've made your quail or something, I'd love to see you posted in our Bead Stash Challengers group. If you can't find the Bead Stash Challengers group, let me know and I will help you out. You can always direct message Desert Cat Creations with any questions you might have, or if you're watching this on YouTube, just comment, or I think it gives you the option of sending me an email and then we can correspond that way. So anyways, if you're interested in any of our cards, our kits, or our bead mixes, they are available through our website or directly from me. You can direct message me with what you're interested in, or you can check it out on our website. You know, we'll get it out to you as quickly as possible. So hope you all have a great week, safe week. Stay cool. We're over hundreds for another week here, at least. So hopefully the rest of you aren't suffering that same fate. Although I know down south in Texas and stuff, they are too. So it's almost September, so here we are, you know. All right, I will see you guys on Thursday for our next project. Thanks again for everything, and again, have a great and safe week.